In theaters now, the new film by Ridley Scott. That's the man who gave you Alien. That's the man who gave you Blade Runner. He's now giving you House of Gucci. I didn't know anything about this. I knew Gucci was a thing. This is based on a true story. I guess roughly, loosely based on a true story. It stars Lady Gaga. I like saying it that way because it sounds continental. Lady Gaga stars as a woman of meager means who sets her sights on a younger member of the Gucci family, and she wants to hook into that Gucci action. And he is portrayed by Adam Driver. He's a Gucci. Jeremy Irons plays, one of the elder Guccis. It's Jeremy Irons and Al Pacino are the two brothers who run the Gucci empire, inherited from their father. And heir to that fortune is going to be Adam Driver. He's not interested. He wants to be a lawyer, but Lady Gaga and her wily feminine ways puts the full court press on the guy to go out with her and ultimately to be married, and starts, consulting with him on how he should lead his life and what he should do with the business and how he should treat other people. Jared Leto is in it as the, repeatedly they say, idiot son of Al Pacino. And it's like, well, but at least he's my idiot. Or imbecile, or whatever word he uses. Jared Leto is really weird in this. Performances in this movie are good. Lady Gaga is good. And it's easy at a distance for people who've not seen her in a movie to dismiss her as that woman who wore a meat dress or dressed weird. She's a good actress. She's good in this. Very compelling. Adam Driver is solid. Jeremy Irons is great. Watching him in this, hear me out. If ever there is a biopic of Boris Karloff's late period toward the end of his life, I think Jeremy Irons would be really good. He's a great actor, so he can do pretty much anything you hand him, but he kind of has the look, at least in this movie, of the elder Karloff, and I think that would work. Anyway, and then you have Jared Leto in this. I don't think he's a bad actor by any means, but for whatever reason in this movie, it's like he's playing a Hanna-Barbera cartoon Italian. He's all like, "Why do you want to do this to me? I just want to make it a fashion." That's really not far off from how he acts in this movie. He has this weird high voice, and he's way over the top on everything. Now, maybe the actual Gucci that he plays in this movie, maybe he talked like that. Again, haven't done the research. I did go to the History versus Hollywood site to see what's true about this movie. It's really sort of a melodramatic soap opera-y version of the actual events that happened. I'm not going to get into the plot very much because I had it ruined for me. I saw the trailers and I'm like, I'm curious to see that. And then I saw something on like Discovery Plus, some cash-in documentary about the incidents in this movie. And the title of it was like, oh, great. Well, that would have been a wonderful surprise had I not known. The movie actually starts, it does something that really annoys me about movies for the last 10 or 15 or 20 years, where it starts off and it leads right up to a dramatic moment, and then it cuts and it's like 13 years earlier, and then the whole movie leads back to that point you already saw. That point you already saw, which would be a surprise if it wasn't teased right up front at the beginning of the movie. Anyway, the less you know about this, the better. This is not a movie about fashion. This is a movie about family dynamics and backstabbing and manipulation and dirty deeds. Not done dirt cheap. They're done rather expensively. This is Gucci we're talking about. But it's got a great look to it. Not a lot of problems. My only problems with this is how odd the Jared Leto performance is, because it really kind of took me out of the movie whenever he showed up, because suddenly I'm like, what an eccentric performance. It was just really cartoony, like hard to describe. The other thing was the music, the period music that was used. And it just might be my own quirk. I'm watching this and I'm trying to keep a sense of when things are happening, like roughly what year it is as we're going through the chronology. And maybe it's because I'm persnickety or something, but you're seeing the Lady Gaga and Adam Driver get married, and they play a George Michael song, Faith, I think. And I'm like, well, that song was from like the late 80s, but this is supposed to be the late 70s, right? And then it's a little bit later, and they play another song that seems like it's a little too early for what the moment is. Like they're playing a disco song, and is what it's supposed to be the 80s. And maybe that was just song choice, but when I see period films like that, I always am like thinking you're going to be playing music that matches with when it's supposed to be. And again, that's something that probably bothers nobody except me, but it was a distraction in this movie for me. Is it a great Ridley Scott movie? Is it a great movie? I think this is more sold on whether it's based on a book. I think if you're interested in that story, if you heard a little something about what happened with the Gucci family, this may be interesting. I think if you like the leads in it, it's worth seeing. If you're interested in Italian style and New York style in the late 70s, early 80s, it might be worth seeing. It's not great, but I damning with faint praise, I don't know. It's going to say it's not great, but I wasn't upset that I saw it. Put that on your video box cover. I thought it was decent, you know? It was a decent sort of big budget drama, but it moves right along, and it's got its lighter moments. Not entirely Jared Leto's weird performance, but I thought it was decent. So there's not a lot of substance in what I said, not a deep amount of substance in the movie necessarily, but House of Gucci in theaters now, directed by Mr. Ridley Scott.